All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Sunday evening, September 12th, 2021. One of the top stories today was an explosion in Atlanta in an apartment complex. Blame it on a gas line. And we've seen national news stories like this before. And every time it is a national news story, there's always something really suspicious about it. And I want to talk about this story and also go back and look at the same pattern we're going to uncover with regards to explosions and the numbers we're going to talk about in stories of the past. So notice it's September 12th, right? September 12th, 12/9, like 129 if you're new here. Gematria, very simple practice of coding numbers into words based on the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with numerology. Explosion equals 129 with the alphabetic order. That means A's 1, B's 2, C's 3, D's 4, E's 5, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. So explosion's 129, like the 12/9 date of this national news story. And when you use numerology, explosion becomes 48 instead. Atlanta has that gematria of 48 as well. If you follow football, today the over-under was set at 48 for the Atlanta game. And again, just yesterday, Alabama beat the team from Atlanta, Mercer, with 48 points in college football yesterday. Score was 48-14, 62 combined points, Georgia 62. Again, you learn this knowledge, you'll never look at sports or the news the same way again. You'll just see right through it with laser vision. We've talked about these numbers and these types of rituals many times. Here's a headline from 2018. A Chicago water plant collapsed after an explosion, and this company was 129 years old when this happened. We talked about that at the time. Again, same rituals over and over. So they said that it happened at 1:24 p.m. in the Dunwoody neighborhood, which is a suburb of Atlanta. 1:24 p.m. is the 804th minute of the day. 8:04. And Atlanta is on the 84th meridian west. And we've talked about this before. When you write out 84 as a word in Sumerian gematria, that's where you just multiply the alphabetic order times 6. A's 6, B's 12, C's 18, D's 24, E's 30, so on. 84 equals 804. So on the 84th meridian, at the 804th minute of the day, you have this explosion. And again, it comes on a Sunday. And remember, Sunday 84, like Jesuit. Remember what the Jesuits did last year on August 4th, 84? Date can also be written 4/8, like 48. You had the major explosion in Beirut. The last time we heard about an explosion in Beirut, it was the Beirut barracks bombing. But last year, the explosion was on Barack's birthday, Barack Obama, the man born 8/4. The fire chief who was in charge of the scene here was Melvin Carter. His name in the Sumerian cipher is 840, right? So 804, 84, 840. What are the odds? And with regards to the Jesuits, Dunwoody, the suburb of Atlanta, Dunwoody equals 95. Remember, the Jesuits were created to counter the 95 Theses, and they were recognized by Rome on September 27th, the day leaving 95 days left in the year. Well, think about it. This explosion happened in Atlanta September 12th, 15 days before September 27th. Atlanta has gematria 15 with the alphabetic order and rules of numerology. It equals 48 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. Again, gematria, alphabetic order forwards and backwards with numerology, your base ciphers. And, to make no mistake about these patterns, this is the beauty of my old site. If you're ever looking for number meaning, just go to my old website because there's 30,000 posts here. freetofindtruth.blogspot.com and just search the numbers you're looking for. So like if you do a search for 804, this story will come up. This is from May 19th, 2016, the day this was posted on my old site. Egyptian Flight 804, what we were talking about back then is how it disappeared 804 days after the Malaysian Airlines missing plane. Remember that big story that went on forever? CNN kept having that British homeless guy go on TV and talk to you like he was some kind of expert on disappearing planes. Guarantee you the entire story was distraction and bullshit, as was this one. But Egypt Air Flight 804 vanished 804 days after the Malaysian plane. And there's a lot that could be said here. If you go through all the posts I have, it's just it's funny. I'm just scrolling through this, and I notice how I was also talking about how it was synced up with an airport ritual on March 22nd. The name of the apartment complex that blew up today equals 223, which is the 48th prime number. Did I close the story? I didn't mean to close the story. But yeah, again, that's just another 48 that's on it. Where did the story go? Here, I'll get the name of the complex real quick and show you. The name of the complex is Arrive Perimeter. Strange name, Arrive Perimeter. If y'all know anyone who lives at Arrive Perimeter Apartments, check out this name, Arrive Perimeter. 223, the 48th prime, you know? But again, it's just like, that's why it's just, they're always doing the same stuff, coding the same numbers in all their rituals. As I scroll through this older post, there's a lot of information here. Again, I covered this earlier on my sports channel because I talked about this in the sports stream I did on Gematria Effect Sports today. If you guys don't follow, I was busy on Gematria Effect Sports today. Had to wake up all the sheep to rigged NFL and rigged college football. Again, that's where the manpower is, sitting on their ass watching the rigged games. But remember when LeBron wore the Ultimate Warrior t-shirt? LeBron's born in 84. He did that 804 days after the Ultimate Warrior died. And he died in Arizona, the Ultimate Warrior, and Arizona equals 84. They were calling LeBron the Godfather at the time, 84. Ultimate Warrior died on April 8th, 8/4. See what I mean? Just different rituals, but bringing the same numbers together. 84, 804. Again, from an explosion in Atlanta to a missing Flight 804, 804 days after the last missing plane, to LeBron wearing an Ultimate Warrior t-shirt, the man born in 84, mocking the death of Ultimate Warrior on 8/4. Again, you see how it goes? So, and again, if you scroll through, there's a whole lot more posts with the 804 and 84 thing, and it's undeniable the way they bring the same numbers together. And the thing about the 804 plane, they ended up deciding that it was likely terrorism because there was evidence of, explosives. So this ended up being an explosion story as well, This ended up being an explosion story. They thought it was a bomb. And by the way, in Jewish gematria, a bomb is 84. Like Obama, born on 8/4, is 84 in Jewish gematria. You know what I mean? And this story was right before Obama went to Vietnam, and, it was just like, debris found, right? Seats, suitcases, and remains are found in Mediterranean. And, if you just go back and go over the headlines, they ended up thinking that maybe this was terrorism, so... Swerved and then plunged. The missing flight 804 update. So, okay. Again, this stuff is as Jesuit can be, and these people are so redundant in the things they do. So, with regards to those details, I think that is, those are the main points that need to be made. And again, I just want you to see that CNN wrote another article today about how Bush, he just did such a great job tying 9/11 to the new terrorist threat, domestic terrorists. Remember, George W. Bush, from his birthday, July 6th to September 11th, is 68 days. This is on the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. In Gematria, terror equals 68. And in 1968, he graduated from Yale Skull and Bones. Same year 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. The same year World Trade Center construction began. The same year 2001 A Space Odyssey came out. And again, just to think that 20 years have gone on and him and the rest of these clowns that are part of this agenda, there hasn't been any justice. But not only that, now they're on the stage 20 years later telling you what the next part of their agenda is. And it's about, going after people in the U.S. who are deemed terrorists, the types of people that question the government's tyranny. Those are the people that are now the terrorists. And remember, in the time he was in president, in the time Obama was president, in the time Trump was president, the law of the land has been that if you're a domestic terrorist, you lose your rights. Not if you're a domestic terrorist. It's just if you're a domestic terrorist or any kind of terrorist, if you're a U.S. citizen and the government deems you a terrorist, you lose your rights. They can detain you in a box and not tell anybody about it. This is the land we now live in. And again, I've been saying for a long time, as they make these laws, maybe we don't have to fret about them right now, but what about in 10, 20 years? People forget that those were the big alarming headlines at the time. And but this is the nation that they're slowly building for us. And, well, now they're rapidly building it. I mean, their agenda's in overdrive, but it's just sad that, these guys can get up in front of any podium in the U.S. and feel like, they shouldn't feel safe, these people. They shouldn't be able to, George W. Bush shouldn't feel safe to stand in front of any podium in the world and speak like this. He should think like, God, there must be a lot of people out here in this country that know what I was behind in the agenda. But they don't have to worry about that because, they got all the sheep wrapped around their finger. I mean, it's just sad, man. But it's why that the few that are awake really have to figure out how to organize and do something revolutionary. The revolutionary act is needed. The knowledge isn't enough. The act needs to happen. And by the way, also yesterday on 9/11, the FBI released the first 9/11 document after a Joe Biden order. And again, if you've read this document, it's about how a Saudi spy who was working in LA might have had connections to two of the hijackers, right? So it's more propaganda that makes it seem like Saudi Arabia, our ally in the Middle East, might really have been behind the attack. But notice, this year, 9/11/21 had 41 date numerology like 9/11/2001. And remember, in our most pure cipher, which is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, again, if you can only have one cipher, it's this one. Saudi Arabia is 41. And back when I first started, the other cipher we knew was the alphabetic order. And Al-Qaeda in that cipher is 41, just like USA is 41. Like George Herbert Walker Bush foreshadowed it all 11 years to the day, number 41, the Skull and Bones member, another 41. But on the 41 date numerology, they released this FBI document about the Saudi spy, and they say the Saudi spy was operating out of L.A. Now, I wouldn't have caught this years ago. L.A. is the 13th city. Tonight on Sunday Night Football, the Rams got up early, 13-0. Again, it's always 39 on SNF. Tonight, the Rams got their 39th win versus the Bears on SNF. Andy Dalton picked up his 39th career loss. It's all scripted. But the thing I wanted to say is when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, L.A. is 41, right? L.A. is 41. So this 9/11 FBI document on the 41 date connects Saudi Arabia, LA, and it reminds of what we just talked about a couple weeks ago with the new 911 TV show series about to release on September 20th, and it's about the blackout in LA. So I'm thinking, on 911, a document about LA. 911's got the predictive programming for a blackout that could come in LA. And Neo the hacker, he left me a good comment the other day. And he said, he goes, for what you're saying about the predictive programming of a blackout in LA, what about the date November 9th? because that's the other 9/11 date. That's the day the wall fell in Berlin, the towers fell in New York, 9/11, 9/11, 11/9, 11/9, November 9th, September 11th, dates that can be written the same way. But November 9th really is a smart date because notice it's the day leaving 52 days left in the year. Power outage is 52. Remember, revolution equals 52. NBC had the TV show Revolution about a power outage that changes the world. We predicted that there'd be blackouts on Valentine's Day this year because of a 52 ritual, which happened. And so November 9th is a good day to look out for a power outage ritual. And remember, the new TV show 911 that's foreshadowing this, their commercial has the Rolling Stones song Paint It Black, and the Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts just died. You have Watts, Los Angeles, the suburb. Watts or power. When Houston blacked out on Valentine's Day, J.J. Watt said he wanted out of town. But look at this. From the premiere of the show, this 9/11 show about the L.A. blackout, September 20th, to November 9th is 50 days, and the word that they're using in the commercial is blackout. A blackout in LA. Blackout is 50. So isn't that interesting? Power outage 52, the day leaving 52 days left in the year, 50 days after the premiere of 911, the LA blackout for season 5, right? Season 5. Blackout in numerology is 50, 50 in numerology is 5. But yeah, all this stuff, it's just, it's all coded propaganda. It's all numerical ritual. And again, the reason they do this is because they are Kabbalists. This is the Kabbalah code, And speaking of more mocking, how about this headline for the September 11th weekend? Fashion designer called out for cultural appropriation over its $1,190 sweatpants. And again, if you read the article, it's saying how they're trying to take advantage of black people who like wearing sweatpants and like, expensive labels and status. And again, it's, but what are the odds of reading about $1,190 sweatpants the weekend of September 11th, right? All of this stuff is just such numerical ritual. It's just so transparent. And again, with regards to all the expensive designer brands, how many of them are out of Italy, where the Jesuits are out of, the Vatican's out of? This on September 11th weekend. Remember, Vatican Hill in Jewish gematria is 911. Vatican in our base ciphers is 119. So there's that. And by the way, for the latest great 56 stat, as of September 9th, over 5.6 billion COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered worldwide. I hope that stat is fake. 5.6 is, again, it's like 56. Coronavirus 56, COVID vaccine 56. That was the same day that Biden made the mandate for federal employees for the vaccine. But on that day, 5.6 billion vaccines. They say the Earth's population is over 7 billion, so that's almost everybody, as brain dead as the people of the world are, I guess it's not out of the question, but, I don't know. I guess feel blessed to be a truth seeker and be awake and not be part of the number, but my God, it doesn't look good for us. Humanity is a failed experiment. God needs to go back to the drawing board. Anyway, and also for the random thought of the day, you know what happened actually? I had a YouTube and it started with like a song that was way away from this, but sometimes like your YouTube, like if you put on a song, it'll be like playing songs in that group, and the next thing you know, it's like playing a song that you're like, wait a minute, how did it go to this song? All of a sudden, Tupac Hit 'Em Up came up, and I hadn't heard this song in a long time. For people who aren't familiar with rap music, this was a really famous song in the rap world because Tupac, was really insulting towards Notorious B.I.G., and the song came out right before his death. And, he's talking about, he's a big killer and all this, and then he ends up supposedly getting shot. But as the song came on, I was like, you know what? In all the years of doing the Tupac research, I don't think I ever went back and looked at how this song might have fit in with the ritual. And so I had to confirm. You can't just trust Wikipedia, but Wikipedia is correct. The song, the single "Hit 'Em Up" came out on June 4th, 96. And reportedly Tupac was shot on September 7th, 46, and died tomorrow, September 13th, 96. Remember, Tupac Shakur in the most simple cipher is 139, like dying on 13/9. But I noticed in Gematria that "Hit 'Em Up" equals 38 and 97, right? And he supposedly got shot on 9/7. And then Notorious B.I.G., who the song's about, ended up dying in 97. And remember, Notorious equals 97. And of course, Death is 97. Death's also 38, like "Hit 'Em Up." And Tupac and Notorious B.I.G., they both died on dates with 38 numerology. Rappers also 38. So was Murder, so was Killing, so was R.I.P. And I noticed that from the release of that single, June 4th, to the day he was shot, September 7th, was 95 days later. Remember, the Jesuits created Counter the 95 Theses. Tupac's album after his death was put out on the day associated with the Jesuits. Remember the 5th of November, Guy Fawkes Day, the day leaving 56 days left in the year. Big Society of Jesus number, the official name of the Jesuits. But yeah, when I looked at this, I was like, man, I'm surprised I hadn't looked that up before. I've looked up so many things and shown so many things about Tupac's death and Notorious B.I.G.'s. But God, hit him up, man. Just clear piece of predictive programming for what was to come. So I bet somebody else in the community has decoded and covered that somewhere else, and I just didn't know about it. But and remember, Biggie died on March 9th, right? The New York rapper. Biggie, 39 and the most pure, like New York, 39. You see how New York's 39 and 33? Check out the Yankees away record after the New York series with the Mets the weekend of 9/11. The Yankees are 39 and 33 away. Well, that is if they lost tonight. I assume they did. Let's see. Woo, just barely. Just barely. I assume that 39-33 is going to happen. I was like, well, you know what? I better look to make sure that happened. So, okay, that did happen. But yeah, and here, I'll show you. Where's the Yankees at? Where are the Yankees at? Can you see that? 39 and 33 away. See, if I zoom it in too far, ESPN will, I don't know how to, if you go to ESPN's thing, you can see that they're 39 and 33 away. You know, it's probably easier to show it right here on the standings if that's too small. Yankees away record. They just finished their series at the New York Mets. Had a big old 77 ritual in it yesterday in the game on September 11th. And don't forget, the news of Osama's death was first broken at a Mets-Phillies game, and of course the Yankees were in the World Series after 9/11. The mockery. Okay, so, and the last thing I want to cover is just, I hate how every day I have to get comments like this, right? I get comments like this from losers out there that just write this bullshit every day and accuse me of being a liar and a fraud, and it's really them who are the liars and frauds. But this guy right here, John B., says, "You never said Trump would be president." He's responding to the video I did yesterday because I said how we've been able to predict presidencies, news stories, you know, sports games just consistently over the years, which is all facts and truth. And again, this isn't a false statement. No one has ever predicted more shit correct than I have, okay? No one has. Show me anyone in the world who's even come close. But this idiot writes, "You never said Trump would be president. You predicted Hillary the whole time and you know it. You will claim you predicted any and everything, and how convenient that those channels and videos were deleted. Some of us go back a long way with you, Zach." He doesn't even know how to spell my name right. "You do good work, but constantly claiming you predicted things that you didn't just makes you a false prophet." Okay, let's see if John's got a point. Let's see if he's got a point. Let's go back and watch the video from February 2016. Here we go. Let's see if John's right. Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Today's February 24th, 2016. Next week will be Super Tuesday, the date where several states have their primaries, and after that it becomes clear who the candidates will be for the Democratic and Republican parties for president. I suspect that after Super Tuesday, we will have our candidates. They will be Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Last year, summer and spring, I made several videos on the election showing what was going on and what was likely to come. Back then, I was leaning towards the fact that the next president would likely be Hillary Clinton, an assumption I held from 2008 after Obama was elected president. Hillary still could become president, but I'm trying to be unbiased, and I'm trying to figure out what makes the most sense in this crazy nation as the next president of the United States. And in brainstorming about that, that is the weirdest shit, Truth Seeker. The light just turned on in here, and there's no way for that light to come on without me hitting the switch. This house I live in, it's crazy. Read my blog. I've talked about how I live in a haunted house. Anyhow, maybe the ghost is telling me I needed more light in here. All right, back to the point. The next president for this nation and why Donald Trump might make the most sense. If you're not aware, the elections are rigged. Who's ever to be the next president is already chosen. So, what we should look at is the direction this nation's heading. Right now, in the time of the Obama presidency, the powers that be, the people who control our government, who rig the elections, who control the media, right now they are working overtime to divide us among race, religion, sex, sexuality, political party, etc. I don't know what's going on with the light, Truth Seeker. It's weird. I've never seen it do that before. Anyhow, with regards to the powers that be working to divide us, the candidate that makes the most sense to step into the White House is Donald Trump. Why? Because since he's been getting the mainstream coverage going back to May of 2015, all he's been doing is making divisive remarks against women, against Muslims, against Hispanics, against blacks. Do you remember how at a recent rally of his, there was a Black Lives Matter protester who showed up and was beaten, and Donald Trump made the remark that he deserved it? Just weeks before that, he threw out a Hispanic reporter from Telemundo making racist remarks against Mexicans. And this came on the backs of him accusing Mexicans of being responsible for all the raping in this nation. Do you recall those stories from last summer? Days after making those remarks, we got the story out of San Francisco where an illegal immigrant, supposedly named Juan Francisco Lopez, or maybe it was Juan Francisco Sanchez Lopez, either way, some ridiculous sounding name. We got this story of him finding a federal agent's gun on the pier, picking it up, and accidentally shooting a woman. All ridiculous propaganda, all part of the divisive narrative going on in this nation. And that example shows what puppets these people are. Donald Trump's just going out there and saying what his masters tell him to say. That's because the agenda right now is divide and conquer above all else. Donald Trump, again, attacking women, Muslims, Mexicans, blacks, and countless other groups. And worst of all, the media gives him a pass, but not only gives him a pass, also validates him. We get these people who show up on his behalf and speak for him and say how he's the voice of the people, and he's saying things people have been wanting to say for years. This is unprecedented. You know, earlier this week, Ben Carson, who's also a Masonic stooge, a fraud, a phony, another puppet out there, he made the remarks that Obama is not really black because he grew up raised by white people in Hawaii, whereas he, Ben Carson, grew up in the hood around black people in Detroit. And anybody who's seen Ben Carson knows he's not very hood-like, and if, I'll just let it be. Whatever. The point is, Ben Carson is being put down by the media for those remarks, saying those are the signs that he's not presidential.
And Ben Carson makes controversial remarks. The media says, see, that's proof he's not presidential. But meanwhile, Donald Trump has been very immature and got nothing but validation. And it's been going on since May of 2015. In fact, in my lifetime, I've never seen anybody get as much media attention as Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been front and center in the mainstream media on all networks since May of 2015. That is now going on 9 months. Every time a major story is broken, we've heard what Donald Trump has to say before the president, before any elected member of Congress, before any notable figure in society. It's been the Donald Trump show. Donald Trump has been shoved down our throats. And why? I mean, what is Donald Trump's background? Game show contestant? The Apprentice? What else? What else has Donald Trump done? Been born into a rich family? You know, Donald Trump a few months back talked about how, you know, he's not much different than anybody else. His father gave him $1 million as a teenager. That's, you know, that's pretty ordinary. That's how he talked about it. This guy does not represent the American people. This is another entitled member of society from the group of haves, and meanwhile, the vast majority of us are from the have-nots. And so many people in the have-nots get lured in to supporting these people who don't give a fuck about them. There's no other way to put it. If you're out there and you support Donald Trump, you've been sucked into a trap. Donald Trump does not care about you. Donald Trump is an egomaniac, self-obsessed, from wealth, and if he does become the ex-president, just another stooge. And besides all those points, Truth Seeker, anytime Donald Trump's asked about what his plan is for America, he has no plan. The only plan that he has talked about is building a wall between the United States and Mexico. An idea from the Republicans and conservatives going back decades. He has no plan on anything. He just talks cheap. I'll make America great again. I'll make people want to invest here. How? He doesn't say how. He says, well, when I get to that point, I'll have my advisors and my committees and we'll figure it out. I mean, what is that, Truth Seeker? Donald Trump has shown that he's a shit talker with no plan. And I don't know how many people in this nation really support him, but I know people that do. You know, I've met a number of people who say they like him. And why do these people like him? Because we're a nation of people who like to be entertained, and Donald Trump's an entertainer, and these people are laughing while he's speaking and having a good time listening to him bash groups that they probably bash themselves. You know, that's what we really have been turned into, a nation of haters, people that love to divide and fight over nothing. And Donald Trump, he's just going to be the icing on the cake for this recipe that's been waged against us as a nation for decades. So, you know, no matter who the president is, the same things, whatever the plan is, it's going to be rolled out. But if it is Donald Trump, the reason he'll be the president is for what he does to us as a people, divides us further, makes us that much easier, much more easily conquered and ruled over. That's what it's all about. You know, keeping us, the masses, enslaved to tyranny, lies, and all things wrong. And that's what Donald Trump stands for. All right, Truth Seekers, until next time. Encore. There's one important point I forgot to make. When Obama first became president, it was Donald Trump who got mainstream media attention in a big way for bringing up the birther argument. Remember, saying that Obama was really from Kenya. That story dominated the first year of the Obama presidency. So there was a lot of Donald Trump at the beginning of the Obama presidency. And now, since last May, which means the final year and a half of the Obama presidency, we've gotten all sorts of Donald Trump coverage. The Obama presidency began with Donald Trump, and it's concluding with Donald Trump. And I don't think that's any coincidence. I think that's all signs of the rigging and how this nation is a staged, pre-planned joke. All right. Until next time.
And I don't know if I knew it at the time and didn't bring it up, but again, when Obama made his joke at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I think it was 2011, Trump was there, and they had the screen up, and they showed the White House as a casino, Trump casino, and showed Trump in the front yard in a hot tub with some younger women. And Obama was joking about what the White House was going to look like when Trump became the president. If you go back and look at the day they did that, whatever day that was, it was exactly 45 days before Trump's birthday, like he became number 45. And I might not have known about that when I did this video, or I might have and just not brought it up. But again, I mean, just, I always have people leaving these comments and making videos and saying I'm a liar and I never did this and I never claimed that. And it's like, dude, these people are full of shit. I've never claimed anything that wasn't true. And again, the truth is about that prediction, as months went on, at the end I started to think I was wrong about Trump because he was just getting so ridiculous. I was just like, okay, they can't put him in the White House saying this. But then I was like, I guess that just... And they did. So at the end I started to doubt that they were going to put Trump in there. But again, to say that I laid out several times. It wasn't just this video. I laid out several times why Trump made so much sense as the next president. And again, was I wrong about anything? I mean, has the country ever been more divided? Has it ever been more distracted? Has there ever been more tyranny? Again, Trump was a big sign that all this was coming. And I knew at the same time I did this video that if we weren't woken up by 2020, we'd all be fucked. So, again, anyone who leaves comments like that is just either an idiot or a troll. And let's see if John Bistis, Bistis, if that's your real name, if you got this guy in your community, beware. And just makes you a false prophet. Just shut the fuck up, loser. I don't ever claim to be a prophet, first of all. And everything you said was wrong. All you proved is you're a liar, You're a liar, an ignoramus, and an idiot. And again, everything I've said since I got here has been dead on the money. Gematria is the truth. I've clearly exposed what the agendas are, what path we've been on. I've had the timeline out dead on about everything. And since Trump, I said all a year before Biden became president why he was going to be number 46. That was very easy to see. And don't forget that Trump announced from his 58-story Trump Tower that he was running for the 58th U.S. presidential election. Hired the 58-year-old Steve Ray for Inauguration Day. Again, it's all number stuff. That's because Freemasonry's 58, Secret Society 58. Big number with the secret societies. Jesuits, Masons, all related. Omnipresent in D.C. So... And the only thing that would have made this video any better, and what I said is if I just brought up, how... he's also Jesuit scum, went to Fordham. And remember, Society of Jesus 56, coronavirus 56. His Jesuit education began in 64, Donald Trump, 1964, 56 years before 2020, when the year of the coronavirus pandemic, So, anyway, we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. And actually, I also want to show you something else about my character. When I have a loser leave bullshit comments, this is what I do. I block them, You'll see certain people say, I just let everybody post. I don't let any fucking losers just post on my wall. When I see some loser, bullshit, sorry-ass motherfucker like John, I just block them. I don't give a fuck about you, man. I consider that I'm a soldier in the war against fucking losers, ignoramuses, and what I'd really like to do to a person like John is blow his fucking head off and say, one less piece of shit in the world. So, blocking it isn't shit. I'd like to blow his fucking head off, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that either. There's way too many sacks of shit living in this world. There's way too many... Any sorry-ass motherfucker going against me, I think you belong in the dirt. That's what I think, I gave up 8 years of my life to expose the tyranny like no one has, and the only problem is there's not enough people worth a shit to help me out. There's too many sorry-ass motherfuckers like John that should be composting. So, and again, you guys, I'll also say this. The New World Order and the Illuminati tyrants, there is a part of me that sides with them, because I realize that they know that humanity is a bunch of sorry-ass fucking losers, and that's why they do what they do to them. But at the same time, part of the reason society is such a group of sorry-ass motherfucking losers is because of what the Illuminati's done with their nonstop bullshit programming. But I don't want to make excuses for humanity. Their bullshit programming is very transparent and easy to see through, and more people, if they had more IQ points, wouldn't be fooled by it. But, yeah, I don't believe in democracy or any of this shit. Democracy is a bullshit fucking idea. You want a bunch of retards making decisions? Never. Never. You know, again, a group of people's opinions not worth more than one man who knows what the fuck he's talking about. And I'll remind you, when I started this work, all I had was 1,000 people in my ear calling me names and saying I was crazy. I was the one person who knew that they were all wrong, and I didn't worry about their opinions at all. Imagine if we had to vote on gematria in the early days when I first began sharing this work in 2013. It would have been voted as crackpot conspiracy theory nonsense by the masses of morons in my life. You know what I mean? So, no, I'm not. I don't believe in democracy. I don't believe in any of this. People say I'm like a dictator. Yeah, I kind of am like a dictator on my platform. I don't believe in any fucking losers' opinions. And, I run the show the way I want to run it. I mean, that's the reality about that. And that's also something you should appreciate about me, that I'm super honest, even about stuff like that. I don't respect humanity. I don't care for humanity's opinions. It's a society of fucking losers. And they need to wake the fuck up and start listening to people like me who know what the fuck they're talking about. So that's also my attitude. And again, go back and listen to what I said in February 2016, what I just uploaded. Did you hear anybody else lay out anything like that in the world at the time? Trump wasn't even the Republican nominee yet. You know? Again, trust me, I've been on point my whole life. Since even before 9/11. I knew the lies of 9/11 the day it happened, but even before that, I knew how fucked up the world was. You know? Whole time I've been an adult, it's been a world full of sorry-ass, stupid motherfuckers whose opinions don't mean shit because everyone's opinion is just following what the lying authority tells them. So, anyway. If there's a Jesus out there, maybe John lived in the apartment that blew up today. That'd be a blessing. Anyway, we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. And until next time.